Okay, this is our fifth tutorial, 15-minute tutorial on animating. And I was working between my first sketched establishing shot and when I introduce my character. And I have these different frames, 4 frames that do that. But the problem is between my first frame and my second frame, I want to get rid of this ice flow. So what do I do? Well, I'm in my stage here. So I go back to my assets and I set up my layers. I have them turned on and off so that it gives me what I want, which is this. And now I'm going to make a new first frame by holding down Option, going to Layer, Merge Visible, and then selecting all, Command A, Command C, copying all, go over to my stage, go to the very top. Actually, no, don't go to the top because I want to replace layer 1. And I'm going to paste it in, Command V. And that's going to be my new first frame. It doesn't matter what the layers are called. It matters the order they're in, right? So the first frame is on the bottom, and then they progress upwards. So as you click the eyeballs up, you should see your action progress. All right, so let me save that. And now that I've introduced my character, now my character has to get to a hero shot where I actually show the whole animal up on the ice flow. And this is where I get to animate my character a little bit more than just moving it and moving the head. So I go back to my assets. I rebuild the last frame I had done, so layer 2, so I want to build it from there. So I get rid of this one. I deselect. I delete that flattened layer. And I turn on my character assets. And I want to get back to where the character is kind of up and towards the camera. And if I want to do that, but I'm worried about losing this, I can always make a duplicate of that whole folder. Select the whole folder, group, and just Command J, turn off the one underneath. I might give this a different color now. This is the one I'm working with. And now, while the whole folder is selected, I can move it, I can grow it. I have to get rid of his little water bath mustache that I put in when he broke the surface. And then I can edit his head and different elements. And then I want to turn off that coloring effect so he's matching. And this is why I like having 2 files. So this is the last frame I did. Now I'm setting up the next frame. So maybe the head shouldn't tilt quite that far down. Select the whole group in order to move the character. Let's see, where am I going with this? Eventually I want to get, to where he climbs up here and is up here safely. Now for that, I can look ahead and I can build the assets I need. So this will be kind of the hero ridge right here, where I can see my character clearly. So I might decide, like I did last time, to build him backwards. So beautiful. Okay, so I can kind of put him there. And now I need to adjust the landscape a little bit. So this glacier tip, I actually need to add on to it because there shouldn't be this stuff. So what I do is I go to my assets. This is all in the asset folder. I go to my middle ground and I'm going to select a big chunk of stuff underneath like this. Let's see. It goes all the way to the water, which I didn't need for my original composite, but I need now. And I'm going to duplicate that and then move it up and over. Up through the groups. And now let's see what happens when I move my character. Almost works. Let's see. Need a little bit more to be copied right in there. So I can help myself out. So I'm trying to prepare my assets there. Like that window is not going to work so well. So let's get that right. Go back to the middle ground. I need all of this copied. I can always take away, but I can't add easily. Duplicate that, move it up. There we go. I need a little bit more, it looks like, too, over here. Or maybe I can delete from that so it looks believable. So this is the great thing about moving selections, that trick we learned when we cut out the clouds. I can cut out a shape and then move that through the layers. So for instance, like that. I can delete that from that layer, I can delete it from the one underneath, I can delete it from this one. And now let me see if my character will be able to move onto this ice floe in a believable way. Yes, pretty good. Good enough for a GIF animation anyway. Okay, so I got to put him back in the water here. And we see he was there. I'm going to move him in stages, save my assets as I go. The important thing is here, I'm not deleting anything. I'm building multiple assets to be helpful. So I'm angling the head. So he goes from here, and then his body kind of flows in. Let's move him a little bit more. Yep, that might be too much. That looks pretty good. So now how do I bring this over as a frame? I'm going to copy it all, but I want to start animating the sky just really subtly. So what I'm going to do with the sky is just move it over, and I'm going to use my arrow keys for this, just 2 arrow keys. And that way I can do that now consistently throughout. And if I need to, I can rebuild those original layers if I think it's really effective. So the more complex your animation gets, now I'm animating the character and I'm animating the sky. And I need to remember that. I have to do that each time. So now I hold down Option, I go up to the top, I say Layer, Merge Visible, select all, Command A, Command C to copy it, go to my stage, go to the top layer, Command V to paste it in. Now I have that next frame. Now, first thing I'm going to do, deselect and delete that combined layer. And I'm going to move this guy 2 more clicks. Now I go up to my character. And I'm going to change the head, but I'm also going to change the body. Kind of make it look like it's swimming a little bit more. Shift the head down. If I want to take all of the body, not just the torso, I can hold down Shift and select multiple parts of the body and then edit that. And I can use my arrow keys. So from there to there, that's pretty far, so maybe I want to back that up a little bit. So take the whole character, move it back. Yeah, very good. Now I can hold down Option, Layer Merge Visible, and you could use Shift Command E, as a shortcut for that. Command A, Command C, Command V, and it's the kind of thing it's faster to do than to always talk about, but I want to make sure you understand all the steps. So I have 7 frames now in my animation. Notice the sky, how it's shifting subtly each frame now. Now that I know I want that, and I want that complexity, it's going to be weird if the sky doesn't move for several frames and then starts to move. So I need to fix that starting with my second frame. But what we know about compositing, nothing up here changed, right? So I can be a little bit smarter about it. I can just go back to my assets, and I can simply make a duplicate of the sky. Let's get rid of this layer first, deselect. So I can make a duplicate of the sky layer, and that's moved 4 clicks now. So I'm going to move this guy back 4 clicks the other direction. So where it was when it started. Then I'm going to duplicate it, and let's make a group. This will be the sky cycle. You'll understand. And if you do a walk cycle, if you do a breathing cycle, if you do anything that's going to animate and repeat itself within your larger animation, you can build a folder for it, so you can just turn them on, one at a time, and it should loop with itself. So for my sky cycle, let's go back to my stage. I started moving it here. This is where it gets kind of technical and you have to think about it. So this was 2 clicks. Might even label it for now. Think this through. It's the fun of animation, is all the problem solving. This was 4 clicks to the right. So I want this to be 0 clicks. Okay, which means this has to be -2 clicks. Right? This has to be -4 clicks, going the other direction, and this has to be -6 clicks to get smooth movement. So you can see how going back and fixing past ones is a pain, but it's all very possible with your assets, which is why we have the 2 folders. So I have 0 clicks now set, so now I need to do -2 clicks. So I'll make this 0 clicks. Put it into my sky cycle. Duplicate it. Now underneath, I'm going to go to the right 2 clicks. And that's -2. Now I duplicate that. Turn it off so I can see. I'm going to do -4, which is to the right instead of to the left. I move it 2 more. Duplicate that. Command J. Turn it off because I'm going backwards. That's -6 clicks. So you can see how labeling your layers will help. But there's a problem there. I was waiting for that to happen. So at -6 clicks, I start to see a little edge show. That means that's the end of my panning screen, right? So that's a good place to start, but I need to fudge it a little bit. So I'm just going to take that layer of the sky and only that layer of the sky, hit Command T to transform, and just drag it right off to the side. Maybe a little bit beyond, so that it definitely doesn't look wrong. Okay, and then you'll see how it moves. Oops. For some reason. This one's going the wrong direction. So let me get that going the right direction. All those are doing the right thing.